I think the world would be a better place and there would be less disrespect if people didn't judge each other until they really got to know them, because until then you can't really say any opinions and people tend to look at you and make assumptions about you, and that's not right.
I come from Thailand, and anywhere I go that's like kind of Thai oriented, like my mom owns a Thai grocery store. Whenever I go in there and Thai people come in, they always like say hello to me, like Sawadee Ka, and when they put their hands together, that's like a big sign of respect.
People tend to think they're better than everybody else, and because they're different, they're below you. Say a Hispanic thinks somebody's black or white, they're below you, or you're a minority, you feel you're lower than that, and they make you feel like that. But if if everybody in the world just took a second and looked at each other, they're not different. We're all the same people. Maybe different skin color, different personality, but we're all the same people. We're all humans, we have brains, and we use them. And if we just got to know each other, like everybody else, you got to know your friends, the world would be a better place.
Do your parents ever fold their arms, look down at you, and ask, when are you ever going to take responsibility?
They've told me that pretty much a lot, but I really just don't get what they're saying. So sometimes I just ignore it, sometimes I bring it into thought, try to understand it, but I never really get it, so.
Well, my mom always says that to me when I ask for money or something, and she's like, oh, when are you gonna grow up and get a job and stop bothering me and leave me alone?
My mom always says it to me and how that I should take responsibility, and if I want to be able to have independence, then responsibility comes with it, and I have to have kind of adult characteristics.
Are you irresponsible?
Well, I'm really bad at planning things so I could hang out with people, and so my friends always get really mad at me because I always just sometimes not even going to be able to hang out one day because I'm just so unorganized about everything.
So what makes someone a good citizen?
Okay, let's recap. So far we have
voting,
paying taxes,
serving in the military,
Holding public office, obeying the law.
What do you think is a good citizen?
I think good citizens are people who do their share for the common good.
That all seems pretty simple. How about if I try a few of these things and see if they make me a good citizen?
The first thing on my list says voting, and I know from my civics class that in order to vote, you have to register. So I'm gonna go right in here and register. Hi, I'm Malik, and I want to register to vote.
Oh yeah? How old are you?
13.
Sorry, kid. You have to be 18 to vote.
Well, that didn't go so well. Well, I still have a list of things to try. Let's see. Paying taxes. Hi, I'm Malik, and I'd like to pay some taxes.
Do you have any income?
No.
Then go out and get a job, then you can pay some taxes.
The last thing says, do your share for the common good. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. "12-year-old girl does her share for the common good?"
My name is Michelle Loki. I'm 14 and I'm from Heartland, Wisconsin. I live in the countryside with all the cows. At the end of 6th grade, when I was 12 years old, I heard a news program on TV and it was doing a cover story about lead poisoning and the possibility of there being lead in these small children's toys. So I feared for my little brother's sake, Nicholas, and I decided to do my science fair project the next year about lead poisoning, and I was going to test the children's toys for lead. After I got this idea, I decided that I would go to local stores and movie theaters. I got all different types of toys from the gumball type machine toys and also from dollar shops. The first day that I went to Mr. Antoni's lab, I was kind of nervous because I hadn't really talked to him in person yet, but for the most part it was really exciting because I got to wear a huge lab coat and put on goggles.
This is a really popular piece of jewelry that teenagers usually buy from like the movie theaters. And you put it in one of the beakers.
The bubbling over is the nitrogen dioxide gas being released by the chemical reaction.
It was kind of scary because it was bubbling over and there were red fumes coming up from the toys.
Later on, when we put the solution into a test tube and we add the sodium iodide, if there's a yellow precipitate at the top, that means that there's lead in it.
When I put the iodine in, it turned yellow immediately and I was really surprised.
This quantity indicates a lot of lead in this particular sample.
Once the idea soaked in, I was really surprised that I had uncovered something like this.
The second day that she came in, she actually found lead. And she could have called it quits at that point and said, yeah, there's lead, I can go report, and she would have a science project of some significance. Instead, she continued with what seemed like hundreds of different toys.
Once I found that there was this major problem happening, I felt it was my responsibility to tell everyone else and get them involved. I wrote letters to representatives and senators to ask them to try to help me and get the law changed.
So we've had these vending machines for many years, and then one day we received a correspondence from Michelle Loki, and I was shocked to find out that we might have products with lead in them in the vending machines. She had such a sense of social responsibility to try to go out of her way to do something to make sure that this potential problem in the community was being dealt with. We all have to look out and try to do the right thing.
Michelle did something for the common good. By uncovering a serious problem and doing something about it, she helped her community. And that is what good citizens do.
If people just think oh, let's just do something great today, or do something let's help the homeless, let's feed somebody. If some people thought it that way, I think the world would be so much better. It would be. Let's just do something great today. Let's just do something great today.
Let's do something great today. Now there's a thought. So whether it's a big thing, like getting rid of the lead in toys, or a small thing like helping someone cross the street, we can all contribute to making our world a better place.
These Character Chronicles videos are designed to inspire your students and trigger highly productive classroom discussions. And they're very easy to use. You can show them all the way through, which takes about 25 minutes each, or you can stop at natural chapter breaks and conduct discussion with your own students. And to help you do that, each DVD comes with a facilitator's guide, which contains discussion questions, writing assignments, and follow-up activities. These guides are easily printed from the disc or downloaded from our website. To order any or all of these videos, visit our website at livewiremedia.com or fax or mail your purchase order to the fax number or address printed on the front of this disc. The Character Chronicles is closed captioned for the hearing impaired.